Yes.
There are
Daryl Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, hello, Your Honor.
Straight. Like just now. Oh, we're already here. Good. Again. So, it's so. It's up. Like, yes.
Apparently, you were not in court on October the 15th, understandably, because you were in custody.
Yeah.
So we're going to reset this as a paraphernalia charge with failures to appear.
Okay.
Custody date's December the 10th at 9 a.m. If you're still in custody, they'll review this the week before. And
Okay.
depending on the status of your felony, these charges may just go away.
Yeah. I'm already on IPS and stuff, and I get out tomorrow. So.
What? Pardon me?
I'm on IPS. I'm on IPS and stuff.
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I've got the wrong person. Yeah, so you're going to be released tomorrow on IPS?
Yeah.
All right, so your next court date is December the 10th at 9. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you. I'm good to go.
You're good to go.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is the interpreter.
Hello.
Hi. Your Honor, I don't have any Spanish speakers on my list. May I be excused?
You may, as long as we can get a hold of you if we need to.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Judge.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Desmond Rico.
Mr. Rico. Citations here that go back to October the 5th.
And what was that?
Charges for criminal trespass, resisting arrest, and obstructing a highway. 550 West Valencia. The Jack in the Box, looks like. Next court date on this is going to be set for December the 3rd at 2:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand that if you're not in custody, you need to appear?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not. Go back to the area of that Jack in the Box. If you're still in custody, they'll review this on November the 26th at about 1:45. Okay, thank you.
All right.
You want me to go straight to the end?
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Sebastian?
Mr. Ariosa. You're Mr. Ariosa?
Yeah.
Mr. Ariosa. Charges here that go back to February of 2022 for domestic violence assault, along with failures to appear. Bond is $2,499.
Yeah. Or-
We'll appoint Anna Dennis to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be November the 6th. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Ariosa. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
My name is Martinez Brown.
Mr. Martinez Brown. I have a couple of warrants here for you for County Justice Court. Charges from March the 29th of 2020. Domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and also charges from June 2nd of 2023 for domestic violence criminal trespass. Bond on these is going to be $999. Janet Altschuler is appointed to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You need to abide by all previous conditions of release and commit no acts of domestic violence. All right, thank you.
Thanks. Morgan? Morgan?
Montes.
Oh, Montes, I like, sorry.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Charles Montes.
Mr. Montes. I have a warrant here. Charges go back to June of 2012 for driving with influence, intoxicating liquor or drugs, along with probably failures to appear. We'll appoint Anna Dennis to represent you. Bond will be $200. Next court to reach tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You do have an adult probation hold, so So that's resolved. You're not going anywhere anyway. Then I have additional charges from today for driving on a suspended license, speeding, not having insurance, not having a valid license. Same court date tomorrow, same attorney. You're not to drive without a valid license. Alma, what's that case number? Because it didn't carry over. For Montes. Actually, I may be able to find it. No, never mind. I found it. And you do have an adult probation hold, so. The $200 won't get you out of custody. All right, thank you.
First, I'm not going to be so passive. I put the mouse. Morgan.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayan, and you are?
Haley Morgan.
Here's Morgan. I take this charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. Alleged occurred earlier today. Your next court date is going to be on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning in the Green Valley Justice Court. Do you understand? You need to be present at that time.
Yes.
You released on your signature and promise to appear. No acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact with Yamilet. You're not to go to her residence or workplace. You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. And you need to see about getting a behavioral health assessment and beginning your recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
What was the last part? I'm sorry.
See about getting a behavioral health assessment.
Okay.
and recommended treatment. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. Smith.
Austin Smith.
Mr. Smith, I have a warrant here, failing to appear at a supplemental proceeding in a civil matter. Bond is $250 cash. Court date will be Thursday morning, the 7th at 10 a.m. Jill Gookin will be appointed to represent you. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Rena. Oh. I'm ready to do it.
Better for that, and for a shakedown. But. Reach out.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayad, and you are?
I'm Reina Irma Curaces.
This is a good start.
I have a warrant here. Failing to report to get hooked up on home detention.
To detention?
Correct.
Okay.
You were ordered to begin home detention within 60 days of July 30th of 2021. You were supposed to report to the home detention unit. You scheduled to appear on September the 11th of 2021 and did not appear. And didn't appear at a hearing.
Most things. Yes. I don't think you know the spell.
Looks like you haven't paid any of the fine. You owe over $2,000.
Yes.
Review hearing date in front of Judge Cranshaw. Yep.
Push back. All of that. See.
She, first of all, it's been, it's like, we want to really go and go with consistency.
Just a review hearing.
Bad or.
It's really,
All right, you're gonna be held to serve 2 days in the county jail. You'll then be released.
Huh.
Here in Tucson City Court on December the 6th at 9 a.m. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Right, thank you, Ms. Drisses.
Cookies.
Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette and you are
As a cookie?
Ms. Goki. I have a pile of files here for you. I have charges from August the 14th, possession of paraphernalia, failing to appear on August the 27th. I have charges from possession of paraphernalia, possession of a controlling drug on July the 25th, failing to appear on August the 7th.
Excuse me, did you say 2014?
24 this year.
Oh, sorry.
Started from May 24th of this year. Possession of paraphernalia, failing to appear on June the 6th of 2024. You were then in custody on June the 27th, given a court date. Actually, you're medically rejected, but you were given a court date of July 16th and didn't appear that day either. Charges for possession of paraphernalia, possession of controlling drug on December 22nd of last year, failing to appear in court on on January the 4th. And charges for soliciting from the median on July 25th of 2022, false reporting to law enforcement officers, failing to appear on August the 8th. I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $250. If you post the bond, you're recorded December the 4th at 9 a.m. and you need to appear this time. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video on November the 15th at about 1:45. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Thank you, Ms. Goki.
Have a seat.
A few moments.
Got two more, but almost ready. We're not doing badly given our way, so. Did you got recommendations? Did you get recommendations? Okay.
Depends on her. They open or close, in the same moment. Once you close. I love sir, I'm hoping this bad. I'll see like things.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are? Yes, Haas, I have a number of things here for you. I have possession of paraphernalia. I have charges from September 10th of this year for criminal trespass, failing to appear. I have charges possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs on June 24th, failing to appear on July the 8th. Charges from March the 28th for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, and failing to appear. Charges from April the 23rd, possession of paraphernalia and failure to appear. And charges from October 10th of 2023 for possession of paraphernalia and failure to appear in court. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $250. If you post the bond, your court date's December the 4th at 9:30 in the morning. You're not to possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go to any Circle K stores. And you need to engage in substance abuse assessment and treatment. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video on November the 15th at about 1:45.
Oh, yeah. So means. What does that mean?
Means you're being held because of your failures to appear.
And what?
Pardon me?
And what, Mom? I don't know the mean.
You
I
post the bond, you'll be released.
don't know how to
You'll
do
be released at your next court date. But somebody from your attorney's office will come out and talk to you.
I don't know how to do that because I don't have any family or any money.
Well, someone from your attorney's office will come out and talk to you. Problem is you haven't been coming to court entirely too many times.
So what do I do?
We'll explain it.
Stand up. Why wouldn't feel I want
Stand up.
to
Put on your sandals, come.
We're gonna explain it to you right now.
do?
Come on, stand up.
Lopez.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Juan Daniel Lopez.
Mr. Lopez. Citations charging you with criminal damage and disorderly conduct, both with domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be December the 3rd at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you understand you need to be present in Tucson City Court at that time?
Well,
Meantime, no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you need to see about getting a behavioral health and a substance abuse assessment and beginning a recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
Right, thank you, Mr. Lopez.
I did have one question. Was it the Pima or the Justice County Court that I have to attend?
City Court, 103 East Alameda. It'll be on your paper.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just see the commission.
Audio.
Tuesday.
Good evening. I'm just saying, you, sir, are
Just so you know.
does council wish to waive reading.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right, and did either council wish to be heard further on conditions?
I would, please, Judge.
Sorry, Ryan, I can't really hear you, just so you know.
Okay, I'm gonna try speaking louder. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's better.
Sorry about that. If I may, Judge, I'd like to be heard.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, and thank you for your patience with the recommendations tonight. I am asking that you hold Mr. O'Neill on a $500,000 bond per the warrant. I won't go into detail, but the court is aware of the nature of the charges. I can tell you from my reading of the information that I have, there is telephonic evidence and cell phone downloads that corroborate the charge. Furthermore, Judge, he was extradited here from the state of Florida. I understand $500,000 is a high amount for a charge like this, but I think it's absolutely warranted given the fact that he was extradited from across the country and the nature of the charges. So I am asking for the $500,000 bond. Thank you.
And anything further from defense?
Yes, Your Honor. We are asking for pretrial release or a low bond. This is alleged to have occurred in March. He is 23 years old and a lifelong resident of Florida. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but he is low on the NCA and FTA scales and is a lifelong Florida resident. The state, I noted in their recommendation, said that he's a non-compliant offender. However, he has no prior convictions. So while I understand the nature of the allegations, and they are just allegations at this point, I am asking for a pretrial release or for a low bond, given that he is 23 years old and a lifelong Florida resident with no priors that we know of. So I just don't think we have enough information at this time to hold him on such a high bond.
All right. Preliminary hearing date's November the 15th at 1:30. Bond will be $250. If you post that bond, you'll be distributed of pretrial services. You're not to leave the state of Arizona. No
Right.
alcohol, illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victims or any minors, and you're not going to the victim's residence, work, and school.
Sorry, Judge, may I clarify? Did you say 250 or 250,000?
250,000.
Thank you.
I suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, which office was he appointed to?
Public Defender's Office.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Your name, sir.
Joshua Williams.
Mr. Williams. I have a number of things here for you. Current charges for armed robbery. Current charges for failing to obtain and possess a valid identification. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. You're going to be held without bond on these because you were already on release. There will be a no bond hearing on November the 12th at 1:30. Preliminary hearing date's November 15th at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to return the incident location. No firearms or weapons. We also have a misdemeanor warrant for shoplifting. Alleged occurred on the 12th of July. Your next court will be tomorrow at 1. Bond is $100 and Jill Gookin will be appointed to represent you on this. You're not to return to the incident location. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, would be perfect.
Evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Jacqueline Clary.
Ms. Clary. I've got a couple of things here for you. An interim complaint charging you with possession of paraphernalia. Appoint public defender's office to represent you in these charges. Noting that the defendant has 2 failure to appear warrants out of Superior Court, did either
Yeah.
counsel heard on conditions?
Ryan, you're muted if you want it to be heard.
I don't know how I'm
Sorry,
muted.
Judge.
Oh,
May
No,
I have just a
Yeah.
moment to look up? I was not aware of the failure to appear in Superior Court.
she has,
Um,
she has 2 warrants out of Superior Court for failure to appear.
yeah, given that, Judge, I'm asking that the court impose some kind of bond. If anything, it looks like she'll be held on those. So yeah, I would ask the court to impose some bond. Given the charge, I'll leave it to the court as to what bond should be imposed.
Anything further from defense?
Your Honor, we're just asking for a low bond, given that she is homeless, but she has lived here most of her life. I understand the court's concern with the failures to appear. However, this appears to be, at least the new charge appears to be a low level offense. So we're just asking for a low bond.
Just so she gets credit, bond will be $1,000. Smart court hearing will be November the 12th at 9. Preliminary hearing at this time will be November 15th at 1:30 because of that failure to appear, the felony holds. And I have warrants out of Tucson City Court. For shoplifting along with multiple failures to appear.
What's what I'm saying? It's not a good word. Yeah. So,
Next court date on this will be December the 10th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're still in custody, it will be reviewed on video on December the 3rd at about 1:45. You're not to return to the incident location and no alcohol or illegal drugs. Right, thank you, Ms. Clary.
Yeah.
There are
Reminiscence to court.
Mr. Darara, interim complaint charging you with possession of paraphernalia. You'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges.
Your Honor, I think that he may be a co-defendant with the previous
Because he's-
defendant.
Yes, but because he's smart and steps eligible, I think we still appoint your PD's office.
Okay, all right, just,
That's my
Just wanted-
understanding. I could be wrong.
okay. I'm not sure.
That's my understanding. It appears that you are eligible to participate in a program called Smart Court and possibly STEP, which could result in a reduction or a dismissal of these charges if you successfully complete the program. It really is a treatment program. You want to explore that option?
Yeah.
You also wish to waive time for preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary hearing date will be December the 16th at 1:30, but your next court date is going to be next Tuesday at 9 a.m. in Pima County Superior Court. Do you understand you need to be here for that? No alcohol, illegal drugs, or participate in monitoring and treatment is directed by pretrial services. Thank you, Mr. Darara.
Your Honor, what is the date of next Tuesday? Sorry, I just
The 12th.
wanna look up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right here.
Good evening, I'm Judge Chayad, and you are
Mayor Diaz.
Mr. Diaz, in a complaint charging with domestic aggravated assault, aggravated harassment, and possession of paraphernalia.
Hmm.
And actually, Officer Moreno, I need you to fill in the date. Appears it's alleged to have occurred today.
Yes, today. What happened today?
I missed it too. In the narrative. Okay. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and at either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
The state is muted if the state
Mr. Gant,
wanted to.
No, I'm just going on my written recommendation, Judge. I'm asking for a $15,000 bond. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I would just note that Mr. Diaz is 52. He does not appear high on the failure to appear scale. At least one of the alleged victims did not object to his release. He is a lifelong resident and is unemployed. He has priors, but the last one is from 2017. It does appear from the allegation that there may be some sort of underlying mental health or substance use disorders. So for those reasons, we're just asking for a low bond.
all right, preliminary hearing date is going to be November the 15th at 1:30. Bond is $2,500. If you post the bond, you'll be in a subject of pretrial services. You're not to have contact with your parents. You're not to go anywhere near their residence or their workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I need to participate in behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. I also have what appear to be related misdemeanor charges from today for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence. Failing to comply with court order and domestic violence assault.
Yes.
Charges for domestic violence failing to comply with the court order from June the 18th. I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Set a bond of $500. Again, you're not to have contact with your parents, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go back within 2 blocks of their residence.
Yes.
So,
And again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. If you post the bond, your court date's December the 4th at 10 a.m. If you haven't posted the bond, there'll be a video review on November the 15th. Depending on the status of the felony, they may move that court date. Thank you.
I can't hear you, sir, but you're done with one. Oh, you hang on to it.
Sir,
This is
can I have your shirt, please? Careful.
So you hang it.
Stand up.
November 15th.
Yes. They'll maintain. Or do you guys with people or anything like that? Okay. Thanks for the sure. It's a part.
Yes, but
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Jason Garcia, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia. I've got a couple of things here for you. I have charges from April 15th through June 10th, starting with stalking, domestic violence, misdemeanor charge from May the 7th for disorderly conduct, and felony criminal damage, domestic violence also from May the 7th. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, set an arraignment date for November the 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $50,000 bond on the warrant case. That is the amount in the warrant. And I'm asking for $30,000 on the new case from today. Judge, on both cases, I would ask that the court impose a no contact order with the victims to begin immediately. Thank you.
and you're on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Your Honor, I would note that Mr. Garcia is 24 years old. He's married. He has children, and he has just indicated to me that he has one on the way. He maintains employment and is not high on the failure to appear scale. At least one of the alleged victims is his mother, who was uninjured and does want contact and does not object to release. He is a longtime resident. I understand the allegations and the offense dates. So for those reasons, we are asking for just one low concurrent bond.
Because they're at different stages, I can't do a concurrent bond.
I see. So we're just asking for a low bond in both matters. 80,000 total is not something that Mr. Garcia can afford.
On the warrant, bond will be $20,000. Pretrial services, if the bond is posted, absolutely no contact with Ariana and Magdalena Yanez. No return to their residence or workplaces, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or weapons. And if you're out of custody, substance abuse assessment and begin recommended treatment. Again, arraignment is November the 12th at 1:30. Because there was an order of protection in place, I am entering a no contact order in the new case as well. Preliminary hearing date will be November the 15th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond will be $10,000 on that matter. No contact with your mother or any of the other victims. You're not returned to the victim's residence or work. And I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Xavier Jonas, Your Honor.
Mr. Jonas. I have an errant complaint charging you with being a fugitive from justice, warrant out of Douglas County, Colorado. Will appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges at a review hearing for November the 12th at 2:30 in the afternoon. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $75,000 bond, and primarily because we just don't have a lot of information on the Colorado offense. I will note the warrant from Colorado requests that he be held without bond. I don't think that's legally possible under the current situation, so I am asking for a $75,000 bond.
Yeah, pretrial services, can you tell me where you're getting the $25,000 bond on this? Because I see no bond on the warrant.
Yes, Your Honor, it looks like the day shift spoke to somebody in Colorado. They called a phone number that was on the warrant.
Okay. Well, I'll set the bond at $25,000. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Jonas.
More? But
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Mr. Moore. I have a warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with criminal damage alleged to have occurred on September the 14th of 2023. Will appoint public defender's office, and does either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Judge, given the nature of the charges, I am recommending release to pretrial services. If he doesn't have a hold, I noted he had something out of Florida, I believe, that appeared to be a probation violation. I did not see a hold. If there's no hold, I'm okay with pretrial services release.
Jail, does he have any other holds?
No, yeah, it's not.
All right. Anything further from defense?
No, Your Honor, I'm with the state.
All right, your next court date is November the 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Pima County Superior Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be released under supervision of pretrial services. You'll report to them as they direct. And they have no contact with the victim to return to the incident location. If you need assistance with housing or other things, when you leave the jail today, you'll see a blue line directing you to a structure out right outside the jail. It's called the Transition Center, and they can help you out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Moore. Not. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oops.
Good evening, I'm Judge Ted, and you, sir, are
William Odom.
Mr. Odom, interim complaint charging you with armed robbery and aggravated assault. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $40,000 bond plus pretrial services that is posted, primarily due to the violent nature of this offense, where he's alleged to have struck the victim 20 plus times with an expandable baton. Given those facts, I'm asking for a high bond.
And Your Honor, I would just note that Mr. Odom was assessed at a level 2. He's not high on the NCA or FTA scales. He is a longtime resident, although he is homeless. He does try to maintain some employment. And I would just note that his priors are older. The last appears to be from 2015. So I am asking for pretrial release or a low bond.
Preliminary hearing date will be November the 15th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond will be $10,000. If that bond is posted, you'll be in a supervision of pretrial services to participate in monitoring and treatment under their supervision. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, not to have any contact with the alleged victim, and you're not to return to the incident location. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Odom.
That's it.
That's a free phone. Okay. So that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Judge Fayette and you, sir, are
Philip Ransom.
Mr. Ransom. I have a number of things here for you. We'll start with an imminent complaint, charges of aggravated shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
I'll just submit on my written recommendation, Judge.
Your Honor, I would just note that he's 31 and it appears that there's some sort of underlying substance use disorder. The item in question in the allegations is a phone charger. So I'm just asking that the court take that into consideration, and we're just asking for a low bond.
Preliminary hearing will be November the 15th at 1:30. Bond is $2,500. If you post the bond, you'll be distributed of pretrial services. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. You don't return to the incident locations. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And I have a stack of files here for you out of Tucson City Court. I have charges from August the 3rd for remaining in the parks after hours, failing to appear in court. Charges from May the 23rd for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, 10 North Wilmot, failing to appear on June the 5th. Charges for criminal trespass on July the 2nd, 79 East Speedway, failing to appear on July the 15th. Charges for shoplifting on April the 24th, failing to appear on May the 7th. That was at 6385 East Golf Links. Charges for shoplifting, criminal trespass, and possession of paraphernalia on January the 3rd. Looks like you were seen in custody and failed to appear. Charges for shoplifting on December the 15th of last year. Again at 4700 East Broadway. Failures to appear. And charges for criminal trespass on December 14th, 2022. Failures to appear. Your next court date's December the 9th at 2 o'clock. If you are out of custody, bond is $500. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Seven.
There'll be a review hearing set, right now it's set for November the 15th at 1:45. Depending on the status of the felony, they may move that court date, but you're not to go back to 510 East Navajo, to 10 North Wilmot, to any Walmart, any Walgreens, to 6385 East Golf Links or 7050 East Golf Links. And I suggest you discuss these matters with anyone except your attorneys. All right, thank you, Mr. Ransom.
So I will get out.
Let's stand up.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
You're the Tucson, my friend so dear. We gather today, it's crystal clear. From the streets of Congress to Mount Lemon's Peak, united we stand strong and sleek. Oh, Pueblo's pride, under the desert sun. From the barrios to the ranches, we are one. We walk hand in hand through the cactus and sand. Together we rise tall and grand. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roll. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Cavaliers, we unite. From dawn's first light to the calm of night. Through trials and triumphs, together we grow. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Arizona's gem, in the heart of the West. Tucson's diversity is simply the best. From the old missions to the modern flair, our culture and warmth we proudly share. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Cavaliers, we unite. From dawn's first light to the calm of night. Through trials and triumphs, together we grow. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Tucson is home. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Cavaliers, we unite. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home.